All right, it's my favorite part of the show, the Ask Junior segment presented by Xfinity.
All right, first question coming from Eric Edmonds. The Cup Series added the carousel at Sonoma 2 years ago. Do you think it's time they added the boot at Watkins Glen for more passing opportunities?
I've always thought that it'd be cool for NASCAR to run the boot. I don't know what the drivers and teams and all feel about that, but maybe it just the only problem with that is we run into a situation like at Road America where we're now going to have 5-minute laps under caution, and that's not very appealing for sure. So maybe lengthening the course creates more problems than we even realize. So probably not a good idea. I thought it was a great idea for a long time, but after Road America, maybe not.
Next question from Daniel Reeves. He recently watched the I Am Athlete interview. Do you really think that Lewis Hamilton would do good in NASCAR? Do you see that as a landing point for him after F1?
I don't think that he's going to come to NASCAR. I think that once he's done, I think once a driver like that, gets to the end of the road, they got other things in their life they want to do. He might surprise us, but I don't think that Jimmy's an anomaly where he goes and tries to recreate his whole this whole new version of himself as an IndyCar driver, and that's a tough thing to do at that point in your life. So I think that a guy as successful as Lewis, goes and relaxes and enjoys himself and finds other things that he's, maybe there's other things he's passionate about that he starts putting more time into. Maybe he becomes a broadcaster. I don't know. I really don't know what he ends up doing.
All right. Kevin from Virginia, he's been to 2 races in 2021, and he's noticed an infusion of more families and children and new fans to NASCAR. Do you have any ideas how to keep them coming back to grow the fan base?
Honestly, I think just their experience is going to do that. I never, I've always felt like if you got somebody who's never been to a race, and I get that question a lot. It's like, where do I take my friend who's never been? I always usually say Bristol, the night race, the Daytona 500, Martinsville. I never think beyond that because I know that once they're there and they go through that whole process, that's going to take care of itself. As long as they have a great experience, see a fun race, see other people around them that they can relate to, and everyone there is like-minded in the fact that they're there to have a good time, they're there to have fun, they're there to cheer on the race, and you get that, just like when you're sitting, the thing about being at a race is there's not a home field advantage, right? You don't go when you go to a Panthers game. Most of the people there are in Panthers gear, right? You're looking around, and it's obvious to you that you got a lot of people that are doing the same thing you're doing, right? At a race, it's a little different. You might sit next to a driver, somebody who pulls for a different driver, right? And so it's a little bit of a unique experience for a NASCAR fan versus what we get when we go to Major League Baseball or NFL. So hopefully they go there and they enjoy the environment, they enjoy the food and the noise and the smells and the sounds, and I've never even doubted that would do it. I've never doubted that experience at a race was going to turn. I never thought for a minute that was not going to do it. That was going to turn somebody off, right? I mean, if you go to a race, a night race at Bristol, and the race is over, and you go, you know what? I don't think I need this again. I mean, it's just not for you, But most of the time, getting them there was going to be enough to lock them in. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And then now that the Midway's kind of back open and thriving now, like I saw, they've been doing tweet ups again.
Yeah,
there's more of an experience now.
Yeah, the tracks have different, the tracks all provide a different experience, like the garage area, the access to the garage area, the fan zones. Each one is unique in its own way. Each track tries to separate itself from the others and provide unique entertainment, concerts, all those things. So I think that track experience always is delivered. It's just trying to get people to go, right? Get them, convince them to make the effort to be there.
All right, next question from John. What's your favorite summertime jam? Music that is not the fruit spread. Do you have a summer playlist?
Man, right now I have been listening to there's a radio station that I've been listening to, and it's called Chuck FM, WAVF 101.7. And they play everything. And when I say everything, I mean, I pretty much mean everything. Not everything, but they play everything. That's their slogan. But it's kind of mostly late 70s rock, any Billboard Top 100 from the 80s, some 90s.
Wow.
I'm super...
Just the heck with the 80s.
Dude, I am super nostalgic for some reason right now in the last, several months. And so anything's like late 70s and 80s, I'm totally into it, especially music.
You think that started just in the last couple months?
Maybe not. I'm totally into
Your
it.
whole life.
Okay. Well,
But that would be, if that's what they play, that's your radio station, no
yes.
doubt.
I found
that
my
would be
radio
it.
station.
Yeah.
Chuck FM. Chuck FM. So I listen to, what is it, terrestrial?
Yeah. So
Yeah. I listen to terrestrial radio.
that right there, haven't heard that in many years.
So there's nothing better. So I got iTunes, I got playlists, I got all the. Sometimes that is just too easy. Sometimes I enjoy having to sit through a few freaking commercials that I'm not going to listen to. And the authenticity of that, right? And how it reminds you of the past or the history or your childhood maybe. When I am going to go sit on the beach under an umbrella with a beer and watch Isla play in the sand, I don't want to shuffle a playlist. Because watching my kid play in the sand reminds me of being a kid playing in the sand. And when I was a kid playing in the sand, I was listening to the radio station.
And commercials.
And commercials.
And the surprise.
And it's a surprise, yeah. Well, which most streaming apps are now, surprises. Like that's what I loved about Pandora and Spotify is it's going to play what it wants to play. Sometimes just creating that playlist and pushing the button is just too easy.
He wants that Western Sizzling commercial.
Yeah. I can appreciate that song when it comes on, right? I don't know what it is about that. There's got to be a better way to articulate.
It's a romance to it.
That is one
feel
heck of an
to it.
endorsement for terrestrial radio, to be honest
I
with you.
suppose.
Yeah. I mean, I've never even heard that, but I think I could subscribe to that. I could say, yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah. Big thanks to Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR.